Hey everybody, welcome to another rendition of the Cannabis Correction blog. Gotta keep it a little quiet today because I'm in my school's library. Starting off, before we even get into the crux of the matter, I want to just say I've lost my Wi-Fi for the time being. Again, transitioning over into the new apartment, so we shut the Wi-Fi off early. Still gonna do updates from my phone and upload it through 3G. But with that, I can't make as long videos as I'm going to be making here today and using my school's Wi-Fi to upload it. So, just want to let you guys know the Cannabis Correction blog will probably be a bit shorter just until I get reestablished with my online presence. Now, on the previous blog, I linked you to a video entitled Run from the Cure, a story about a man named Rick Simpson who seems to have found a cure for cancer through cannabis. Again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how well this works. I have not tried it out myself. I've never had cancer, and I've never had an opportunity to try it on anyone because it's illegal. But it drives me mad. It drives me mad that this is a possibility. And there are so many that, for the pure profit, are destroyed through chemotherapy. The government wants to act as though marijuana, cannabis, has no medicinal properties. That's why it's under the Schedule I federal law and why it's illegal. Now, you know what else is also Schedule I? Cocaine, crystal meth. Now, those are drugs that have no other value whatsoever other than to get yourself fucked up. The last I checked, California was still a part of the United States. They didn't secede now, did they? No. And more states every day are passing the laws for medicinal marijuana in their I was about to say country, but in their counties and in their areas. Yet it's still seen as a federal crime, and if the government so did choose, like they did with a fellow named Todd McCormick, they could bust down your door and state, well, look, he's growing marijuana, even if he had a license to grow it because he had medical issues in which he needed it, we're going to throw him in jail. And that's what happened to Todd McCormick. His story can be read below. It's another tragic one of the medical system where it was their mistake that he ended up getting his spine at an early age binded with his hips. Now, there was a misdiagnosis of cancer, so he got unnecessary chemotherapy, unnecessary poisoning, and there was no remorse whatsoever. In fact, quite the opposite effect happened. He was arrested, and this was only because he was trying to manage the pain that the medical system had given him at an early age without any debate. This is inhumane and cruel. I can't believe this continues onwards. It's a complete hypocrisy statement to say marijuana, cannabis, is a Schedule I drug with no additional uses whatsoever when a state in your country uses it very avidly for medicine. It blows my mind. How come no one has called them out on this? This law is unconstitutional federally. It is. You've proven it by fact by having medical marijuana dispensaries in your own country. I don't care if it's not the state you're in, politician restraining this further evolution of our society. I really do see that this illegality of cannabis is a prevention of our evolution. We could be doing so much more right now. We could be doing so much more in energy. I mean, let's not even look at cannabis for a second here, although this is the Cannabis Correction blog. Why are more people not focusing their technologies on, instead of going after that little bit of peak oil that's left, like ravenous monkeys over a fresh kill? Then why are we not using that technology for investing it in solar panels? I refuse to believe that the current technology we have is our best. And I refuse to believe that because I've already done some research. I mean, I'm in the field of environmental science. It's my major. and I found a student in MIT who's working with chloroplasts and solar panels and seeing how it reacts. It's pretty freaking amazing. It's awesome too, additionally, to state, because I also had a separate idea of that, and I jotted it down in my notebook at the time because I thought to myself, there's probably going to be some parallel thinking with this, and it turns out there was, so it's good to have my ideas down on paper. But what I'm trying to prove here is that the level our society is working at now is piss poor. It's awful. And we could be doing so much more. We need to take back our men and women from around the globe who are occupying countries trying to police the world. Bring them all back in and give them some anthropology courses to start. They need to understand humans. We all need to understand humans. I mean, we all need to do a better job at understanding one another's blights and cultures and situations. A lot of people will be short with one another because they don't take into consideration the bigger picture and the entire environment that influences the person. And that has to change. Now, will that change when cannabis is made legal? Admittedly, I do believe it will have some contributing factor. Something that cannabis does is take a shot at your ego. It's ego dissolving, and that allows for a lot greater compassion and empathy towards one another. And now again, when it is legalized, I'm not forcing it down anyone's throat. But to have such a useful plant be illegal when it's clearly unconstitutionally incorrect and just factually unforgivable, the people have to step forward and tell the government no. We won't accept this. We will make this legal, and you can't stop us. One of my suggestions, and I will say this numerous times again and again, is to anybody who does have cannabis. I don't. It's illegal here in New Jersey. But anybody who in the medically approved states has cannabis, I encourage you to throw the seeds if you have any. Throw the seeds. Just throw them anywhere. Throw them in the wild. My plan is to make this weed a weed again. And through cross-pollination in the air and the hurried effect of people throwing their seeds, hopefully we could infest this country once more with the proper cash crop. Now, I just said something there, the proper cash crop, that I want to make sure I quantify. Our cash crop of today is corn, and corn has been horribly misused. It's been misused and put into almost every single food item that's processed. I don't want that happening to cannabis. There needs to be I'm trying to think what I would say for this as far as economic blocks, like what you would call that, but I can't even picture that, because the society we have today, where banks, when failing, can give their employees bonuses, the entire thing is ludicrous. I mean, I really think we need a restart here. I really think we need to flip the system and start over in candid discussion. But there would have to be some kind of blockage in place preventing that desire to produce so much cannabis. I mean, it's not a bad thing to produce so much cannabis, but you need to produce different strains. You need to produce some that are for the psychedelic effects. You need to produce industrial hemp. You need to produce hemp and cannabis that is specifically for the seed and made for the best possible food quality, for the best possible fatty acids. You don't need what we have today and throwing it into every single thing we eat. Don't do that. Don't kill the plant. I said it before, but I'll say it again. There tends never to be a problem with the produce or plants on this planet, but the people. It's the people who mess things up. It's the people who misunderstand and misuse nature. And, quite frankly, I don't understand it greatly myself. The whole tree thing, where people act as though those who want to save trees are tree-hugging hippies. Sorry if I like to breathe. I enjoy oxygen. If you like carcinogenic I'm not even going to say it. I can't even say it today. Carcinogenic, right? Wrong. Who knows? Carcinogen-filled air. Maybe you enjoy that more. Maybe you should go to China, inhale some of those toxic waste fumes that we've been throwing our technology into. There's just so much. I think about that, like one thing leads to the next, and that's why I have a podcast. If you want to hear me expound my ideas into a hour form, then check out my website below at what'sinsidemyhead.com. That's what's in it with a Z for DeoGenZ. And it's undecided yet how many of these I'll post, whether it's going to be weekly or bi-weekly, but this is just the first of many. They're going to be very interesting. They're going to have special guests to chat with, and it will be the place where I discuss ideas like China and the fact that it is a technological waste dump. I don't believe we can evolve as a society, not even as an American society, without the rest of the globe being rehealed. That's really the thing that I am trying to induce on this generation, on the deoxyribonucleic acid of Generation Z. Maybe you didn't know, but my name DeoGenZ stands for we. It's all of us in this generation that we're living in now, and all of us who can change this. But I'm trying to induce the fact that we need conversation. Communication is key, and understanding is really the way to a better and more peaceful society. Now, there's a lot of discussion and a lot of debate you could be having for, okay, well, what happens if you say overturn this society? Where does it go from there? I mean, a lot of people have been theorizing that. Where does it go from here? We're going to try and figure that out in these podcast installments, but for now, the Cannabis Correction blog is done. Again, I don't have Wi-Fi, so expect shorter blogs, not 12-minute videos like this one was today, thankfully. And I'll be seeing you across the week. Oh, and as far as my LPs go, I'm not too sure. I'll probably make a separate channel update for that, so don't even waste its time. I'm DeoGenZ. I'll see you guys later.